welcome back to another video. I'm joined today with big dog Reece. We're doing a little bit of a different style video today, a bit of like a podcast setup. You know, we're starting out here, we couldn't get on the track for a little bit of time, so we're going to be heading down to the track in around 45 minutes, but gives us a nice little bit of time just to have, you know, a bit of a general chat. And Reece, tell us a little bit about yourself, broski, about physique, personal life.
Yeah, so I'm Reece. As you know, I'm one of the head coaches and head of recruitment at Physique Academy as well. So been involved with the brand for the best part of 3.5 years now. So as George started to venture out from like a solo venture, just was kind of the third person that he brought on board after his brother Harry and our head of coaching Jamie. It's kind of worked through like the business from that standpoint. And yeah, just been able to coach and influence hundreds of lives so far inside the brand after 3.5 years. Outside of that, you know, my main thing right now is just heavily into like running, marathon training, and trying to also still kind of like build strength, lift weights, and just find that perfect balance, I would say, of strength and hypertrophy training and, you know, actually preparing for marathons and doing marathons at the same time as well, because I feel like there's quite a bit of a gap right now where people are either going down one route or the other, or not really combining it the right way. So I'm kind of taking myself through that process, completing a few marathons whilst trying to actively like gain weight and gain size at the same time as well.
What's like the biggest struggle though with like trying to maintain size or gain muscle mass with the amount of expenditure that you'll be doing from like the long runs and stuff, and as well, you know, with making sure you're getting like enough recovery for like each session?
Yeah, I think the biggest missing piece that I've got wrong in the past, and probably other people are getting wrong, is the nutrition side of things. It's making sure you're just not like under eating, making sure you're fueling properly for each workout, making sure you're fueling after each workout as well. So I think fueling, getting the right nutrition, getting the right amount of calories to be able to perform well in both strength training and endurance is probably the biggest thing to try and get that right.
Yeah, that's something that I always struggled with personally, like you know, trying to like making sure I don't overtrain, especially going into like more of like a functional fitness and high rock setting, doing like a lot more conditioning. Because if you come from like a strength and hypertrophy background, I always felt as though like I still needed to get the same amount of volume in doing like my strength training, like my compound lifts, my resistance training. But then I've started to implement like, you know, zone 2 runs, interval runs, track sessions, and like more conditioning, like C2 row, C2 ski, and then it's like you don't want to be in the gym for like 2 hours. So it's trying to like strike the right balance of still being able to get enough volume in for your training, like when it comes to your maximum recoverable volume, but also be able to, you know, improve like your aerobic capacity and your lactate threshold if you're looking to do like, you know, like a high rocks or something like that. But have you got a marathon coming up over the next?
Yeah, so I've got marathon in 4 weeks today, so 29th of September, and then I have another marathon on the 27th of October. So we've actually got 2 in the next 7 to 8 weeks.
Right. And talk to me like a little bit about leading up to like the peak week of that. So obviously I assume you've been like increasing your distances and stuff with your runs, and the intensity obviously with your runs. Coming up to like peak week, what do you do to like carb load and, you know, to prepare you for the actual day, to make sure that you're not going to have too much food sitting on your stomach, and you know you're going to be like mentally, physically prepared for like on the actual day? Yeah.
So if we break it down into like training and nutrition, so going into like that peak week or that like taper week as it's known, I really peel back from all running that week before the actual marathon, just because I want to really rid myself of like inflammation, and I want my legs to feel the best that they can going into that event. Strength training then Usually I would do my last leg session at the start of the week if that event's at the weekend, just again to...
Which it usually is, isn't it? It's usually on like a Saturday
Yeah.
or Sunday. You know, you
Yeah.
never have like a half marathon or a marathon like
in the
midweek.
middle of the week. Yeah. So yeah, training wise, like we'll taper lower body sessions down. I'll still train the same through upper body for that week leading into it. I don't feel like there's a variable that needs to change there. I don't really run the risk of injury. I just may remove things like deadlifts from that particular like session. And then from a nutrition standpoint, it's more just a case of I always do 48 hours before the actual event itself. Like that's where I really focus on my carb loading and just eating carbs that I know sit well within my stomach. So always like
nothing too oily, saucy as well. Yeah,
no.
Smashing Indian the night before.
Just like super simple, like beige, like food, easy cereals, rices, potatoes, things that I know that just sit nice and well with my stomach. And just I don't really load up more than sort of 48 hours before the event itself.
Yeah, we'll cut it there, Jake, for a sec, because Big Dog's here. What are you saying, bro? You good? You good?
Big Dog?
Hiya. Yeah, I know, yeah.